One, two, one, two, one, two. Here we go. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason, and you can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and Amazon. A catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. So, if you'd like to be part of this podcast as a guest or a contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivation561@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivation561@gmail.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome to episode 52, 52 of the Catalyst Podcast. And we are excited that you are here to share it with us, all three of you. We started this in August, and here we are. Probably 6, 7 years ago, came up with the idea. Really started thinking about it 4 or 5 years ago, and inspired by the passing of my mother in July of 2023, we put together the podcast. Everything that's going on with Catalyst was brought up from the foundational part of creating this podcast, whether it's the reels, the questions of the day, the quotes of the day, the blog. It was all about this podcast. Nothing fancy. It's a one-take piece, kind of all the farts, whistles, and all that kind of stuff in there. No opening and closing beds. It's just simple. And I hope that the journey part through my cancer, telling that story, was helpful. And I hope these nice little short pieces are helpful as well. Today we're going to talk about it's a concept that's the cornerstone of every success story. Starting small and finishing big. Now, I know what you're saying. This sounds like the recipe for mediocrity, but this isn't your average speech. This isn't your average talk. We're going to break down why starting small is actually the secret weapon for achieving massive success. So, if you got a few minutes, sit down, relax, and let's get into it. Okay? So, let's start off with the basics. What does starting small and finishing big mean? Well, it's about breaking down overwhelming goals into manageable steps and building the momentum until you achieve something extraordinary. It's like building a skyscraper. You don't start by pouring concrete on the top floor or pouring concrete for the top floor. You lay a solid foundation, brick by brick, and that's exactly what we're talking about here. It's like the analogy, you don't try to eat the whole elephant, you start at the tail, and you go piece by piece by piece. So, here's a question, a little thought-provoking question. Why do so many why do so many people dream big but struggle to take that first step? Is it failure, fear of failure? Are they overwhelmed, or maybe just a lack of clarity? Let's explore this together, okay? So, we live in a world obsessed with overnight success. Social media is flooded with stories of people hitting it big, seemingly out of nowhere. But to be honest, those stories are often misleading, because behind every overnight success is years of hard work, countless failures, and small, consistent steps. It's like an iceberg. The part you see above the water is only a fraction of the massive structure beneath the surface. So, let's stop comparing ourselves to the highlight reels and focus on building our own foundations. And we're going to do that with the power of small steps. Small steps are the unsung heroes of success. They're like compound interest. They might not seem much at first, but over time, they create incredible results. Think about it this way. If you want to run a marathon, you don't start by running 26 miles on day one. You start with a short jog, gradually increasing your distance, all right? Time over time over time. The same principle applies to any goal, whether it's building a business, losing weight, or even learning a new skill. I know what you're thinking. It's easy to say that, right? But what about when life gets in the way? We've all been there, right? Everybody faces obstacles. But the key is to view them as challenges, not roadblocks. Remember, setbacks are a normal part of this journey. Let me repeat that to you. Setbacks are a normal part of the journey. They're opportunities to learn, grow, and come back stronger. It's about resilience. Resilience. Like a phoenix coming out of the fire. Just continuing on, doing one more. Same thing with the what we're talking about here. Um, I have a friend who I work with, and she's now been consistent with her program of working out and losing weight. She's been on Watchers. She's lost almost 100 pounds. It's really fantastic to see. And I remember she came to me and she's like, I really want to be consistent with this. The way to be consistent is you show up today, do what you need to do, and when you wake up the next day, you do it again. And when you wake up the next day, you do it again. But when you do it again, you add one more onto what you did the previous time, right? Consistency is the key. Consistency is that secret sauce. It's not about how hard you hit, but how often you hit. Small, consistent actions over time will always trump sporadic bursts of effort. Think about it like brushing your teeth. You do it every day without fail because you know it's an important part of your oral health. Well, at least some people do. At least some people do, right? Your goal is to be treated with the same level. Your goals should be treated with the same level of importance, is what I'm trying to say. So, as you start taking part in consistent action, you'll start to build what's called momentum. We're going to get that rock moving. It's like rolling a snowball down the hill. The more it rolls, the bigger it gets. This is where you start getting excited. You start seeing progress. And that progress will fuel your motivation. It's a beautiful sight to behold. But sometimes you come up against these bumps in the road. And that's when you need to find your why. To stay motivated, it's essential to connect with your why. Why are you pursuing this goal? What is this deeper purpose behind this? When you have a strong why, it becomes easier to overcome challenges and stay focused on the big picture. Take some time to reflect on your goals. What's driving you? What impact do you want to make? And when you have a clear understanding of your why, you'll find an endless source of motivation. Going through my journey with cancer, my why was simple. I had two of them. The main one, the most important one for me, was my son. I wanted to be there to see him go to the prom. I wanted to be there to see him graduate high school. I wanted to be there to see him go to college, graduate college, and get married and have that grandchild for me. I want to see all those things. And that was my why that pushed me through to get me where I need to get to. Was there a lot of luck involved? Yes. But guess what? That why made me get up the next day to go and do what I need to do to keep myself healthy. All right? Find a why. Find a why that grabs on and holds on to you, that makes you get up in the middle of the night and say, I've got to do more. So let me tell you a personal story. When I first started this podcast, I had no idea where it would lead. I have this passion that I want to tell my story and hopefully help people, and the desire to share my thoughts, right? I thought would help others. So I started with small steps like recording episodes, but not posting them. It wasn't easy. There were times where I doubted myself and I wanted to give up, but I stayed consistent, kept learning, and finally put those pieces out. And slowly started to have a few people listen. And actually had people come back to me because I kept doing it every week, every week, every week. And now here we are, 52 episodes later. The journey taught me that starting small is not a sign of weakness. For me, it was a strategic move. It's about laying the groundwork for something truly amazing. Another thing that can really, really be important is surrounding yourself with people who support your goals. Find a community of like-minded individuals who can offer encouragement, advice, and accountability. There's power in numbers, my friends. And when you're part of a supportive community, you're less likely to give up on your dreams. Visualize and affirm. Visualization is a powerful tool. Imagine yourself achieving your goals. Feel the emotions of success. The more you visualize, the more your brain will believe it's possible. Affirmations are another way to boost your confidence. Tell yourself daily that you can achieve your goals. Your mind is a powerful thing, so feed it positive thoughts. Everything you say, everything you think, and every action you take has power. So those times when you're just saying to yourself you can't do it, you're right. When you're struggling with something and you're frustrated, you're right. You need to speak positivity into your life. And sometimes having that support group is so very, very helpful. All right, so let's recap. Let's recap. No, I'm not going to recap. Maybe a little bit later, but not right now. What we're going to do is recap. So we talked about the importance of starting small, the power of consistency, overcoming obstacles, and finding your why, and building a supportive community. Remember, success is a journey; it's not a destination. Enjoy the process, celebrate the small wins, and never ever give up on your dreams. Now, it's time to put what we learned and place it into action. So here's your challenge. Identify one big goal you want to achieve. Break it into smaller, actionable steps. Take the first step today, no matter how small it may seem. And remember, I'm here with you every step of the way. Share your goals and progress with me on social media using the hashtag Start Small, Finish Big. Let's inspire each other to share on this journey, and let's support each other on this journey. Okay? Thank you for tuning in. I believe in you. Now go out there and crush it. With that being said, thank you for listening to the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason, and you can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and Amazon. A Catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. If you would like to be part of this podcast as a guest or contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivation561@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivation561@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening to episode 52. We will see you on episode 53. Again, thank you so much for listening. Make sure to share and go be great. Have a good week.